Friends aren't just accessories to life. They are the lifeblood of our existence. But what happens when that lifeblood is absent? When the people who should have your back are simply not there? What does that do to a woman's soul? Let's find out in the next part of the book. Let me take you on a journey into the heart of this challenge, the journey of a woman with no friends. Stay with me, because the answer isn't just about friendship. It's about understanding the power of connection and how a single shift can bring everything back to life. Imagine walking into a room full of people, yet feeling utterly alone. A room full of voices, laughter, and chatter, but somehow you remain disconnected. You wonder, why? What's missing? This is the reality for some women. Having everything, yet feeling like they have nothing. A woman with no friends isn't someone who chooses isolation for the sake of being alone. No, she longs for connection, but struggles with the invisible walls built from fear, betrayal, or doubt. And yet, in that silence, there is room for transformation. Now remember, this is the reality for men and women. And in that silence, there is room for transformation. And this is the reality for men and women. The power of relationships is not just a theory or a nice idea. It's a core truth that governs our lives. The people we interact with, the connections we make, they define who we are. Think about it for a moment. We are all products of our relationships, whether it's with our family, colleagues, or friends. Every interaction shapes us, either consciously or unconsciously. Human beings are social creatures. We thrive on connection, and our relationships play a vital role in both our personal and professional lives. When you form a relationship, you're not just sharing a moment or an experience, you're exchanging energy. You're sharing part of your soul, your thoughts, your beliefs, your dreams, and in return, you receive theirs. This back and forth exchange builds a shared understanding, a bond that strengthens both parties. And relationships have the power to uplift us, to encourage us when we're down, and to remind us of our strengths when we forget them. They give us a mirror to see ourselves, often in ways we may not even recognize. The friendships we build help us grow. They challenge us to push our boundaries, to see life from different angles, to become better versions of ourselves. But when those relationships are absent, when you find yourself isolated, it's like walking in the dark. You lose touch with reality. You start questioning yourself, your worth, your place in the world. This lack of connection slowly erodes your confidence and dims your light. That's why relationships aren't just about comfort. They are the foundation of everything we do and aspire to become. So if you're lucky enough to actually have a relationship, connection is not just a luxury or a convenience. It is a fundamental human need. At the very core of our existence, we crave connection. From the moment we are born, we begin forming bonds, first with our family, then with the world around us. This need for connection doesn't diminish as we grow older. In fact, it intensifies. As we navigate life, we seek out people who understand us, who resonate with our thoughts and emotions. Connection is the lifeblood that sustains us through life's challenges and triumphs. Celebration is the wine that renews and reconnects us in fire. Without connection, we are like a plant without sunlight or water. We may exist, but we do not truly live. Connection validates our existence. It reminds us that we matter. It reassures us that we are not alone in our struggles or our successes. It provides us with the comfort of knowing that someone else at some level understands what we're going through. This shared experience helps us feel anchored, grounded, and seen. When connection is absent, we begin to feel fragmented. Our thoughts become clouded, and our emotions spiral without an outlet. We become disconnected not just from others, but from ourselves. The absence of meaningful connection leaves a void that no material success or achievement can fill. It creates a sense of loneliness that goes far deeper than physical isolation. It's a feeling of being misunderstood, unappreciated, and unseen. True connection is more than just interaction. It is the feeling of being understood. It's the empathy shared between two people who, though they may have different lives, can see the world through each other's eyes. It's the sense of belonging, of knowing that there is a place for you in someone else's world. It is this deep and meaningful connection that nurtures our spirit, fuels our growth, and gives us the strength to keep moving forward. Isolation is not just a physical state, it is a mental and emotional prison. When a person isolates herself, the mind starts to transform. It begins to play tricks, creating doubts, insecurities, and anxieties that might not have existed before. The longer someone stays in isolation, the more pronounced these negative thoughts become. The mind, in its silence, starts to amplify fears and worries, and without external perspectives to challenge these thoughts, they gain power over the individual. The first thing isolation does is feed the ego with distorted narratives. We become convinced that our worth is tied to the absence of others. The longer we go without meaningful connection, the more we start questioning our value. Am I not good enough? Becomes the echo in the mind. Why am I alone? What's wrong with me? These are the thoughts that emerge when the mind is left to its own devices. The mind also thrives on stories about who we are and what we deserve. When isolated, we become the only narrator of our own story. With no one else to offer alternative viewpoints, we become trapped in our own limited perceptions. We may begin to tell ourselves that we're unworthy of love or friendship, or that others don't understand us. These stories become so deeply ingrained that they shape our reality, even if they are entirely unfounded. Isolation also disconnects us from reality. Without the balance and feedback that relationships provide, our perceptions begin to distort. We may start assuming that the world is colder than it is, that people are indifferent or hostile, and that we are destined to be alone forever. This distorted perception becomes our new truth, and it colors how we view every new interaction. We start to see threats where there are none, and we push people away out of fear of being hurt. The mind, in isolation, becomes a breeding ground for self-doubt, anxiety, and even depression. Without the comfort of a friend's voice or the support of someone who truly knows us, the weight of our inner struggles becomes unbearable. And yet, it's all happening in the mind, a mind that, left unchecked, can spiral further into negative thinking. Friendship is not just about companionship or shared experiences. It plays a pivotal role in our personal growth. A true friend sees not only who we are in the present moment, but also who we can become. They hold up a mirror that reflects not only our strengths, but also the areas where we can improve. It is through this honest reflection that we are challenged to grow. A real friend doesn't simply agree with everything we say. They question, they challenge, they push us to think deeper and act better. In a healthy friendship, there is a dynamic exchange. One person's growth fuels the others. When you are surrounded by people who are growing, evolving, and challenging themselves, you can't help but be inspired to do the same. A friend's progress becomes a motivator, showing you that growth is possible, no matter how difficult or uncomfortable it might seem. They offer a source of encouragement, reminding you that progress, even small, is still progress. Their victories become a blueprint for what's possible in your own life. Friendship also offers a sense of accountability that is essential for growth. Without friends who hold us to our word, who ask us about our goals, who remind us of our potential, it's easy to lose track of our dreams or let them fall to the wayside. We may start something with great enthusiasm, but lack the discipline to see it through. A friend steps in at those moments, urging us to stay focused and follow through. They don't let us settle for mediocrity. They encourage us to aim higher, be bolder, and push through obstacles. The challenges we face in friendships themselves lead to growth. Not all friendships are smooth sailing. They come with their own sets of trials, misunderstandings, disagreements, or different life paths. Yet it is in navigating these challenges that we develop patience, empathy, communication, and problem-solving skills. Each conflict faced and resolved in friendship teaches us something new about ourselves and the world. Through friendship, we are introduced to new ideas, perspectives, and opportunities. A friend might have experiences that differ from our own, and through their stories and insights, we broaden our own understanding of the world. The diversity of thought in a friendship helps us see the richness of human experience and forces us to question our own biases and assumptions. In essence, friendship is a powerful catalyst for personal growth. It encourages us to evolve into the best version of ourselves by offering support, feedback, accountability, and challenges. It helps us stretch beyond our comfort zones and become more than we ever imagined. It is through these relationships that we find the strength to overcome our fears, face our weaknesses, and ultimately unlock our full potential. Women need other women because there is a unique bond that exists only in female friendships. A bond rooted in shared experiences, empathy, and understanding. It's not just about having someone to talk to. It's about having someone who truly gets you on a level that is difficult to explain. A woman who has walked the same paths, faced similar challenges, and dealt with the same societal expectations can offer a perspective that is both validating and empowering. Women, by nature, are deeply relational. They thrive when they are in environments where they can connect with others, share, and nurture. When women come together, they create a space where they can be vulnerable without fear of judgment. There's a power in these connections, a sense of safety and trust that allows for deeper emotional honesty. A woman can share her joys, her fears, her struggles, and her dreams, knowing that the woman on the other side will understand without needing to explain every detail. And other women can provide much-needed emotional support during life's highs and lows. When life gets overwhelming, having a female friend to turn to can make all the difference. A woman needs the reassurance of knowing that she is not alone in her experiences, that her feelings are valid, and that her struggles are shared. The solidarity that exists between women provides a sense of comfort and stability, allowing them to process their emotions, heal, and gain the strength to face whatever comes next. Female friendships are also a source of encouragement. When a woman faces self-doubt or insecurities, other women can act as mirrors of her strength and potential. A woman's friends see her not just for who she is today, but also for who she could be tomorrow. They offer words of affirmation, reminding her of her worth, abilities, and capacity for greatness. This encouragement is crucial in a world that often undermines women, making them second-guess their power and potential. Women need other women because they provide a sense of belonging. In a world that often pits women against one another or pressures them into societal molds, the solidarity among women can create a powerful, supportive community. Female friendships remind women that they do not have to compete for space, attention, or love. Instead, they can stand together, uplift one another, and create a world where mutual respect and admiration are the foundation of relationships. There is also the unique wisdom that women share with one another, an intuitive understanding of the female experience. Women know the societal pressures that come with being female, the expectations, the challenges. When one woman speaks about her experiences, another often nods in recognition, sharing the same understanding without words. This shared wisdom is invaluable. It helps women navigate the complexities of life, from relationships to careers. and gives them the tools to thrive in a world that sometimes feels like it's stacked against them. Women need other women because they offer the opportunity for personal growth in ways that few other relationships can. The connection between women can push them to evolve, to question old beliefs, to broaden their horizons. Women challenge each other to become better versions of themselves, to take risks, to pursue their dreams, and to become more than they ever thought possible. Through the power of female friendships, women find the courage to step into their full potential and embrace their authentic selves. The fear of vulnerability is one of the most powerful forces that can keep a woman from forming deep, meaningful connections with others. It's a fear that whispers in her ear, telling her to protect herself, to hide her true feelings, to put on a mask. Vulnerability, in its rawest form, exposes a person's inner world, their thoughts, their insecurities, their desires, and for many, this exposure feels like an unbearable risk. What if they are judged? What if they are rejected? What if they are seen as weak or inadequate? This fear is often rooted in past experiences, hurt, betrayal, or rejection. A woman who has been hurt in the past may find it incredibly difficult to let her guard down again. The wounds from the past can create walls that are hard to break down, even when the current circumstances may be completely different. The fear of vulnerability is not just about being open with others. It's about the internal battle of trusting again, of believing that showing one's true self won't lead to pain. The fear of vulnerability is also amplified by society's expectations. Women are often conditioned to be strong, independent, and capable at all times. The idea of being vulnerable can feel like a violation of these expectations, something that makes them appear weak, needy, or incapable. There's a pressure to always appear put together, to show the world that you have it all figured out. But in doing so, women are forced to hide their true feelings, their struggles, and their emotional needs. They suppress their vulnerability in an attempt to fit into a mold that society deems acceptable. Yet, vulnerability is not weakness. It is, in fact, a form of strength. It is the courage to show up as your authentic self, to expose the raw, unpolished parts of you without fear of judgment. But overcoming the fear of vulnerability is a process. It requires a woman to first accept herself, her flaws, her imperfections, her humanity. It means understanding that being vulnerable doesn't make her less capable. It makes her real. It means embracing the idea that asking for help, expressing emotion, or revealing your true self is not a sign of failure, but of strength. When women learn to embrace vulnerability, they open the door to deeper, more authentic connections. Vulnerability allows for empathy, for shared experiences, for true understanding. It's through vulnerability that women can find the kind of friendships that nourish the soul. Friendships where they don't have to hide, where they can be accepted just as they are. Vulnerability fosters the kind of emotional intimacy that strengthens relationships and allows them to grow beyond surface-level interactions. Yet this journey towards embracing vulnerability can be daunting. It takes time, patience, and a willingness to take risks. It requires stepping outside of the comfort zone and confronting the fear of rejection, judgment, and pain. But the rewards are immense. Vulnerability leads to connection, growth, and healing. It's the gateway to deeper relationships, richer experiences, and a life that feels fuller and more meaningful. For a woman, embracing vulnerability is the first step towards unlocking her true potential and allowing herself to live without the constraints of fear. Overcoming hurt and betrayal is one of the most challenging emotional experiences a woman can face. Betrayal cuts deep. It doesn't just break trust, it fractures a person's sense of safety, self-worth, and belief in others. When someone she cares about betrays her, it feels as though the foundation she built her relationships on has been shattered. The pain can be so overwhelming that it clouds judgment, distorts emotions, and makes it difficult to see beyond the hurt. The question constantly lingers: how could this happen? Hurt and betrayal often create a sense of confusion and self-doubt. A woman may find herself questioning everything she thought she knew about the person who betrayed her. Was it all a lie? Was I just blind to the truth? The mind races, searching for answers, often overanalyzing every moment, every word, trying to make sense of something that might never make sense. This can lead to an internal struggle where the emotions of anger, sadness, and disappointment conflict with the desire for closure or understanding. The emotional scars left by betrayal can manifest in different ways. For some, it leads to withdrawal from relationships altogether. The fear of being hurt again becomes so great that the idea of trusting anyone, even those who have earned it, seems impossible. For others, the pain of betrayal may trigger a deep sense of unworthiness. If this happened to me, maybe I am not worthy of love, trust, or respect. These feelings can erode a woman's confidence, making her retreat further into herself. The challenge becomes not only healing from the betrayal, but also restoring belief in herself and her ability to trust again. This is where mentorship, especially in the field of healing and breach resolution. However, the path to healing begins with acknowledging the pain. Many women are taught to suppress their emotions, to move on quickly, or to just get over it. But healing cannot happen without first allowing oneself to grieve the loss, to feel the anger, sadness, or frustration that comes with being betrayed. Acknowledging the hurt is not a sign of weakness. It is an essential step toward recovery. Until a woman allows herself to fully process her emotions, she remains trapped in the past, unable to move forward. The next step in overcoming betrayal is understanding that it is not a reflection of her worth. When someone betrays a woman, it is not an indictment of who she is or what she deserves. Often, betrayal stems from the betrayer's own issues: fear, insecurity, selfishness, or lack of integrity. A woman must remind herself that the betrayal speaks more about the other person's character than her own. It is a painful truth, but one that can liberate her from the cycle of self-blame. Forgiveness is another crucial element in overcoming hurt and betrayal. But forgiveness does not mean forgetting or condoning the actions that led to the betrayal. Forgiveness is about freeing oneself from the emotional weight of anger and resentment that continues to tie a woman to the past. Holding on to grudges only perpetuates the pain, while forgiveness offers the possibility of healing. Forgiveness is a gift that a woman gives herself, not the person who hurt her. It is an act of strength, not weakness. It is also important for a woman to seek support during this time. The healing process can feel isolating, but it is essential to lean on trusted friends, family members, or even a professional to help navigate the emotional storm. Other women, especially those who have faced similar pain, can offer invaluable insight, empathy, and encouragement. These connections remind a woman that she is not alone and that there is a way forward. Overcoming hurt and betrayal is a transformative process. It is an opportunity for growth, for discovering inner strength, and for learning the depth of one's resilience. While the scars may never fully fade, they can become symbols of wisdom, empowerment, and the ability to rise above life's challenges. The journey to healing is not linear, and it may take time, but every step forward is a step toward reclaiming her sense of self and embracing the possibilities that lie ahead. Building trust over time is one of the most essential and delicate processes in any relationship. Trust is not something that can be established overnight. It is earned slowly through consistent actions, open communication, and mutual respect. It's a gradual process that requires patience, vulnerability, and the willingness to invest in the relationship. When it comes to building trust, especially for women who may have been hurt or betrayed in the past, it's important to understand that trust is not just a given. It must be nurtured and cultivated through time and experience. At the heart of building trust is consistency. Trust is not built on grand gestures or empty promises. It's built on the small, everyday actions that demonstrate reliability and dependability. When someone shows up when they say they will, follows through on commitments, and demonstrates that their words align with their actions, trust is reinforced. These small but significant moments build a foundation of reliability where the person can be counted on to act with integrity. For a woman, seeing someone remain steady, dependable, and honest, especially over time, gradually eases the fear of being let down or abandoned. Communication is another key pillar in building trust. When trust is broken, silence and miscommunication can deepen the divide. Open, honest, and transparent communication is essential in rebuilding trust. This means being willing to share feelings, thoughts, and concerns without fear of judgment. It means listening attentively to the other person's perspective, even when it is difficult, and working through misunderstandings in a constructive way. Healthy communication helps bridge the gap between two people, providing the understanding needed to rebuild trust when it has been damaged. Vulnerability is also a significant aspect of building trust. For a woman, opening up to someone requires a level of courage, especially if she has been hurt before. Yet, vulnerability is the doorway to true connection. When both people in a relationship allow themselves to be vulnerable, to share their fears, desires, and struggles without judgment, trust begins to blossom. The key is that vulnerability should not be forced or rushed. It must evolve naturally and gradually. A woman needs to feel emotionally safe before she can allow herself to be open. And that safety comes from consistent, trust-building behavior over time. Forgiveness also plays a role in building trust. No relationship is without its bumps, and mistakes will inevitably happen. When trust is damaged, forgiveness becomes a necessary element for healing. Forgiveness doesn't mean forgetting or excusing poor behavior, but it does mean choosing to move forward with an open heart. It is a decision to let go of the past hurt in order to rebuild a stronger foundation for the future. For women who have experienced betrayal or hurt in relationships, learning to forgive can be a powerful step in the healing process. It is a step toward reclaiming control over their emotions and opening the door to healthier connections. Another critical aspect of trust building is accountability. When someone makes a mistake, being accountable for their actions and accepting responsibility is vital. Trust cannot thrive when there is denial, defensiveness, or a lack of acknowledgement of wrongdoings. For women, seeing someone take ownership of their mistakes and genuinely strive to make things right is an indication of their character and integrity. It reassures that the person values the relationship and is committed to doing better moving forward. Accountability shows respect and consideration for the other person's feelings and helps mend the cracks that can form when trust is shaken. Time is also an essential factor. Trust doesn't happen in an instant. It is a cumulative process that unfolds gradually. The more time spent together, the more opportunities there are to show up for each other. It is in the long-haul moments, the days, months, and years, that trust is solidified. Relationships that are built over time through shared experiences and mutual support create a deeper, more resilient bond. This shared history provides a sense of security as both parties can look back on their time together and see the consistency, the care, and the mutual respect that has shaped the relationship. Building trust is not just about what is said, it's about what is done. It's the ongoing demonstration of integrity, accountability, communication, and vulnerability that forms the bedrock of a strong, trusting relationship. For women, who often face external pressures and emotional challenges, trust provides a foundation of support, safety, and connection. But trust is a living, evolving thing. It requires continued effort and commitment. The beauty of trust lies in its ability to grow and deepen over time, reinforcing the bonds that make relationships truly meaningful. Happiness and fulfillment arise when you are true and authentic. The beauty of quality over quantity lies in the deep, lasting impact that quality relationships, experiences, and choices have in our lives. In a world that often emphasizes more friends, more achievements, more possessions, the true value of quality can easily be overlooked. Yet it is quality that truly enriches our lives and provides lasting fulfillment. Quality means depth, intentionality, and value, whereas quantity often leads to superficial connections and fleeting moments that lack substance. When it comes to relationships, the value of quality far surpasses the allure of a large social circle. Having a few close, trustworthy, and supportive friends is far more beneficial than having dozens of acquaintances who don't offer the same level of emotional depth. These quality relationships are built on trust, mutual respect, and shared values, allowing for a deep connection that provides comfort, support, and growth. In contrast, superficial friendships, while plentiful, often drain energy rather than nurture it. The time spent in these relationships may be more frequent, but it lacks the meaningful exchange that fosters personal development and long-term happiness. Quality over quantity is equally important in how we spend our time. It's easy to get caught up in a busy schedule, filling our days with endless tasks, appointments, and activities. However, it's not about how much we do, it's about how well we do it. The time we devote to things that truly matter, whether it's nurturing a passion, learning a new skill, or spending meaningful time with loved ones, is far more rewarding than being caught in the chaos of busy work. Quality time spent doing something we love or with those who matter helps build memories and personal growth in a way that quantity never could. In our personal growth and development, the focus on quality often results in more profound and long-lasting outcomes. When we strive for quality in the habits we develop, the goals we set, and the learning experiences we pursue, we create a foundation for meaningful progress, whether it's learning a new skill with dedication or pursuing a passion with focus. Quality growth pushes us to challenge ourselves and achieve excellence. In contrast, spreading ourselves too thin, chasing many goals at once, or seeking instant gratification through numerous, shallow experiences can lead to burnout, dissatisfaction, and a lack of fulfillment. It is quality commitment to one goal or a select few that leads to mastery and true growth. When it comes to material possessions or success, the focus on quality also brings greater satisfaction and value. A few well-chosen items that align with our true values or a career path that allows for real impact can be far more rewarding than accumulating possessions or accolades for the sake of quantity. Quality represents alignment with purpose, intention, and authenticity. When we choose quality over quantity, we are selecting what truly matters to us, what adds value to our lives, and what reflects who we are at our core. This leads to a sense of fulfillment that superficial gains or excess can never provide. The answer lies in enduring practice that we can train and embody once we win. The pursuit of quality encourages us to slow down and appreciate the moments, people, and things that bring us genuine joy. In a culture that often prioritizes speed and growth at all costs, quality asks us to take a step back and be present. It's about savoring life's most meaningful experiences rather than rushing to check off boxes or accumulate more. When we focus on quality, we engage more deeply with our surroundings and with ourselves, fostering a greater sense of connection, mindfulness, and contentment. Quality also nurtures resilience. Life is unpredictable, and when we experience difficulties, it's the quality of our relationships, our inner strength, and the choices we've made that allow us to bounce back. Quantity may offer temporary distractions or quick fixes, but only quality connections, values, and experiences provide the foundation we need to endure and grow through life's challenges. So, the depth of our relationships, the authenticity of our pursuits, and the consistency of our values become anchors when we face adversity. Embracing quality over quantity requires a shift in mindset. It's a conscious decision to value depth over breadth, intention over volume, and authenticity over appearance. It's about recognizing that more isn't always better, and that true richness comes from the depth of what we experience and the people we surround ourselves with. Quality brings purpose, satisfaction, and meaning into our lives in ways that the pursuit of quantity can never do. The challenge of self-discovery is one of the most profound journeys a person can embark on. It is a process that requires introspection, courage, and an unwavering commitment to understanding who we truly are beneath the surface. For many women, the challenge is compounded by external expectations, societal pressures, and the many roles they are expected to fulfill. Daughter, wife, mother, colleague, social media influencer, levied drummer. These roles can often overshadow their sense of self, making it difficult to distinguish between who they are and who they are expected to be. Self-discovery, therefore, is a reclamation of identity, a peeling away of the layers that have been shaped by others' perceptions and demands. One of the first hurdles in the journey of self-discovery is overcoming the fear of confronting what lies within. It's easier to look outward, to focus on others, and to live according to the expectations placed upon us than it is to turn inward and examine the complexities of our own emotions, desires, and beliefs. The internal landscape can be daunting. It's a space filled with unresolved questions, past wounds, and uncertainties about the future. But within that space lies the potential for growth, clarity, and true understanding. The courage to face the unknown parts of ourselves is the first step in discovering who we are at our core. In this journey, self-doubt often rears its head. The fear of making the wrong choices, of not being enough, or of facing failure can create barriers to exploring one's true self. For women who have been conditioned to seek approval or validation from others, stepping away from external expectations to listen to their inner voice can feel intimidating. The challenge is to quiet the noise of outside influences and tune into what feels authentic, true, and aligned with their deepest values. It requires a willingness to trust oneself, to believe that the answers lie within, and that the path forward will reveal itself with time. Self-discovery also involves embracing change. As people evolve, so too do their identities. What we believe to be true about ourselves today may not hold tomorrow, and that's okay. The challenge is to allow for this growth without feeling like it's a loss of who we once were. Change is not something to fear. It is the natural process of becoming more fully who we are meant to be. It's about learning to let go of rigid self-definitions and allowing for fluidity, growth, and expansion. The journey of self-discovery is not a fixed destination. It's an ongoing process of transformation and reinvention. Part of self-discovery also involves accepting and integrating all parts of oneself, both the light and the shadow. Often there are aspects of ourselves that we are afraid to acknowledge or express, whether it's anger, vulnerability, insecurity, or even unfulfilled desires. The challenge is not to deny or suppress these aspects, but to understand and integrate them as part of the whole person we are. Embracing both our strengths and weaknesses allows us to be fully authentic, and it is in this authenticity that we find freedom. We stop pretending to be someone we are not, and we begin to live in alignment with our true essence. Another significant challenge in the journey of self-discovery is the pressure to compare ourselves to others. It's easy to look at the lives of those around us, whether through social media, peer groups, or family, and feel like we're not measuring up. Comparison breeds self-doubt and discouragement, creating a false narrative that someone else's path is better or more worthy. The challenge is to break free from this mindset and embrace the unique nature of one's own journey. Each woman's path is different, and there is no right way to discover oneself. It is about finding what resonates with your own heart and soul rather than seeking external validation or approval. In the midst of this challenge, it's crucial to have patience with oneself. Self-discovery is not a race. It is a journey that unfolds gradually, with twists, turns, and moments of uncertainty. There will be times when progress feels slow, when doubts resurface, and when the path forward seems unclear. But this is all part of the process. The key is to keep going, to embrace the discomfort, and to trust that clarity will come with time. It's a process that requires self-compassion, the ability to be kind to oneself during times of struggle, to accept mistakes as learning opportunities, and to celebrate small victories along the way. The challenge of self-discovery is about reclaiming personal agency, the power to shape one's life according to personal values, passions, and truths. It's about shedding the constraints of societal norms, expectations, and past experiences, and creating a life that feels authentic and fulfilling. The more a woman discovers about herself, the more she can step into her full potential. She realizes that she is not defined by others' perceptions, but by the choices she makes and the power she holds within. Self-discovery leads to empowerment, self-love, and the confidence to pursue a life that is truly her own.